Tucson, Arizona, 1964. A town simmering under the desert sun where secrets festered in the shadows. The streets, though seemingly quiet, held stories that would send shivers down your spine. Charles Schmid, 21, oozed charisma. Dark, brooding eyes, slicked back hair. Girls flocked to him like moths to a flame. He was the epitome of cool, the kind of guy who could make you feel like you were the only person in the room. But beneath that charming exterior lay a darkness. They didn't see the monster beneath, a duality that was as terrifying as it was hidden. Schmid was already known for petty theft, escalating to arson. His criminal record was a tapestry of escalating violence and disregard for the law. Each act bolder than the last, each crime a step closer to his true nature. He craved a different kind of power, not just over things but over people. He wanted to control their fates, to play God in a world that seemed to offer him no real challenge, control over life and death. The ultimate power, the kind that could make him feel invincible, untouchable. He was ready to cross lines that most people wouldn't even dare to approach. His gaze fell on Allure Rowe, a troubled teen yearning for acceptance. She was vulnerable, the perfect target for someone like Schmid. She wanted to belong, and he offered her that illusion. She vanished on May 31, 1964. Whispers started. The town buzzed with rumors, each more chilling than the last. People wondered, speculated, but no one knew the truth. Allure's disappearance, a chilling mystery in the desert heat. Schmid, however, remained unfazed. He walked the streets with the same swagger, the same confidence, as if nothing had changed. He basked in the attention, spinning tales of Allure running away, seeking a thrill. He was the Pied Piper, leading everyone away from the truth with his charm and lies. But the shadows of Tucson held secrets that were not so easily buried. Schmid's confidence grew. He boasted of having a secret, something buried in the desert. His friends, young and naive, dismissed it as morbid bragging. But doubt lingered. Then Gretchen and Wendy Fritz's stepsisters vanished. Gretchen, 15, bubbly and full of life. Wendy, 16, quieter, more introspective. Like Allure, they were last seen with Schmid. Tucson held its breath. The desert, once vast and indifferent, now felt menacing. The disappearances, no longer isolated incidents, formed a terrifying pattern. The whispers grew louder, accusations veiled in fear. Schmid reveled in the fear. He spun elaborate lies, weaving a tapestry of deceit. The desert, his accomplice, held its secrets close. He manipulated his friends, playing on their loyalty, their fear of becoming his next victims. He was a puppet master, and they, his unwitting marionettes. But the desert, a silent witness, held the truth. It whispered on the wind, carrying the scent of decay, a faint echo of screams lost in the vastness. August 1965. A gruesome discovery shattered Tucson's fragile peace. Skeletal remains unearthed by the shifting sands were identified as Allure Rowe. Panic turned to terror. Schmid, the charming facade crumbling, fled Tucson. He couldn't outrun the whispers, the accusing stares. His carefully constructed world was collapsing. The discovery of Allure's remains was only the beginning. The desert, once a silent accomplice, became a relentless storyteller, revealing the horrific truth. Section 5. A mother's intuition, a community's dread. Allure Fritz, Gretchen and Wendy's mother, refused to believe her daughters were gone. She held on to every shred of hope, every faint possibility that they might still be alive. Her days were filled with endless searching, her nights with sleepless worry. The community watched her, their hearts breaking for her, yet they too were gripped by a growing dread. She clung to hope, even as the community braced for more heartbreak. Candlelight vigils were held, prayers whispered into the night air, and neighbors gathered to offer support. The sense of unity was palpable, but so was the fear. Everyone knew that time was running out. Days later, the desert revealed its grim secret. The search parties who had combed through the barren landscape tirelessly finally stumbled upon a sight that would haunt them forever. The once hopeful search turned into a grim recovery mission. The skeletal remains of Gretchen and Wendy were found. The discovery was a devastating blow, not just to Allure, but to the entire community. The desert, which had once been a place of mystery and beauty, was now a graveyard of lost innocence. The confirmation of their deaths sent shockwaves through Tucson. The news spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of sorrow and disbelief in its wake. People gathered in small groups, their faces etched with grief, their voices hushed as they tried to make sense of the tragedy. The murders, once whispered rumors, became a chilling reality. The community, which had once been a close-knit and trusting place, was now shrouded in fear and suspicion. Conversations that were once filled with laughter and warmth were now dominated by whispers of dread and uncertainty. The Piper of Tucson had led 3 young girls to their deaths. The moniker, once a mere urban legend, now carried a weight of terror that was all too real. The community was left to grapple with the horrifying realization that a predator had been in their midst, hiding in plain sight. The town, once charmed, now recoiled in horror. Streets that were once bustling with life were now eerily quiet. The sense of safety and security had been shattered, replaced by an overwhelming sense of vulnerability. The community would never be the same again, forever marked by the tragedy that had unfolded in their midst. Schmid, on the run, couldn't escape the long arm of the law. He was apprehended in Texas, charged with the murders that had terrorized Tucson. His trial was a media frenzy. The details, gruesome and shocking, painted a chilling portrait of a young man consumed by darkness. The charm, the charisma, gone. The prosecution presented a damning case. Witnesses, once under his spell, testified against him. The evidence unearthed from the desert spoke volumes. The jury's verdict was swift: guilty. The courtroom was filled with a tense silence as the judge delivered the final sentence. The gavel came down with a resounding thud, sealing the fate of Schmid, the Piper of Tucson. The weight of the decision hung heavy in the air, a moment of reckoning for the heinous acts committed. Schmid, the Piper of Tucson, was sentenced to death. His crimes had shocked the community to its core, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. As he was led away in handcuffs, the reality of his punishment began to sink in. The once charismatic figure was now just another inmate, stripped of his power and influence. But justice felt hollow, a meager offering in the face of such profound loss. The families of the victims sat in the courtroom, their faces etched with grief and sorrow. No sentence could ever bring back their loved ones or erase the pain that had been inflicted upon them. The emptiness in their hearts was a stark reminder of the true cost of Schmid's actions. He was imprisoned, his life reduced to the confines of a cell. The walls of his cell were a constant reminder of his crimes, a prison within a prison. Each day was a monotonous routine, a stark contrast to the life he once led. The isolation was suffocating, a fitting punishment for a man who had caused so much suffering. The desert, his hunting ground, held the echoes of his crimes, a constant reminder of the lives he stole. Tucson mourned. The once vibrant community was now shrouded in a sense of loss and mourning. The desert, with its haunting beauty, served as a silent witness to the atrocities that had taken place. The memory of Schmid's actions lingered, a dark shadow over the town. The families of his victims, forever scarred, struggled to comprehend the depths of his depravity. They gathered at grave sites, seeking solace in their shared grief. The pain was a constant companion, a reminder of the lives that had been cruelly taken. Each tear shed was a testament to the enduring impact of Schmid's actions. The town, forever changed, vowed to never forget. Memorials were erected, and vigils were held to honor the victims. The community came together, united in their resolve to remember and to ensure that such horrors would never happen again. The legacy of Schmid's crimes was a painful chapter in Tucson's history, but it also served as a reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Years passed. Schmid, his death sentence commuted to life in prison, remained a haunting figure. The allure he once held had morphed into something grotesque, a cautionary tale whispered in the desert wind. His crime served as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface, of the vulnerability of youth and the fragility of life. Tucson, forever marked by tragedy, found strength in unity, in the shared grief and the determination to honor the memory of those lost. The desert, a silent witness to Schmid's crimes, remained unchanged. Vast, unforgiving, it held the weight of history in its shifting sands. Tucson, however, slowly healed. The memory of Aline, Gretchen, and Wendy lived on, not in the shadow of their killer, but in the hearts of those who loved them. The Pied Piper's tune had faded, replaced by a symphony of resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of a community forever bound by tragedy and by hope.